Because we're mixing something in here that's almost impossible to do, which is bringing up a child in an insane world. I mean, we're talking the dynamics of that and the things to do can't be the actual what we're doing here is about the only way that it can be done because you really can't put out there or you get into a lot of trouble if you do rules about
Right.
if they're bad, put them in the corner. If they're good, do this. If they make them wear a dunce
Right.
cap, there's
Because
all
you have to
sorts of
walk in the moment.
yes. There's
Because
all
you do
sorts
say
of
there needs to be consequences,
yes.
and you'd say they're natural consequences.
Most of the part there are natural consequences, but the first thing that our planet blocks are consequences.
So if a child's going near a flame, you say let them get burned.
Yes. Well, that sounds because they probably won't get burned.
They'll feel the heat
They'll see
before.
its sins.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We stop their discovery.
We go way beyond that. Now we have child-resistant caps, and we have oh man, we've got everything to stop the child from. I don't care if they're a year old and they pick up something and wipe it. Then if you're going to clean it up, give me your hand and take the child's hand. But again, we're fighting an already existing problem. And if you're a partnership, then what does that mean?
You're both responsible.
And what does also mean? Yes, it means that, and it means that when you do things, you're going to do them together where you can. The two things that happen when you do that, you don't make the child wrong for doing it. You're saying, hey, we made a mistake or we made a mess, so what are we going to do? Clean it up, yeah. But if we say, you dumbass, get that cleaned up.
Okay, and then there's the other thing of, did they really make a mess? Let's play with the mess. You could go either way with that.
Yes, in living our life, there can be no rules, except we need rules to live our life. When does a rule get into the way?
When it's a firm, gotta be the only way.
Exactly. So if the child then, here's a good example of that, the child spills it and the two of you clean it up and you do that, pretty soon the child, in order to get attention, is probably going to spill something and okay.
Oh yeah,
then
mom's
there's
gonna
the
come
point, yeah,
clean
then
up
there's
with
the
me.
point you back off and you say, whoops, wait a minute, we did that, now you'll have to take care of that. And then you don't get into that thing of, so that there's I still do it to this day, the act of breaking up repetition. Because the mind wants to get everything, this is the way you do it, and then keep doing
robotic.
Yep, and then it falls asleep inside of its robotism. So the same thing is true in raising a child. The minute you see that the child's caught on to let's call it a pattern, then that pattern needs to be broken. But we, in our children, we love to see the pattern.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they're cleaning up.
Cleaning up. Whatever it is, but that's what we like to see happen. And of course, those are the places that we'd really like to have the problem of, wouldn't it? Just the breaking of a habit of being good for good's sake. All of it has to do with your life and as you live it. And this is where even the function, let's say it's a function of, and we're stretching things here because people don't perhaps know what transformation is, but let's say you have a situation where one of the parents has had some sort of a death experience, which is what it takes for transformation, and the other one hasn't. Well, then this one says, okay, well, let's do this with it. And the other one says, what do you mean? So then you have this big tension between the two, but both of them have an idea of what the child should do or what should be happening in that particular instance. In 99% of the times, that transformed being is just going to let up. As a transformed being, intelligence cannot force.
Yeah.
It cannot argue. It cannot fight. It cannot force itself onto some other thing in order to get some sort of a. That's why our world is completely encased right now.
Yeah, I guess that would make the whole thing of this parenting thing doubly difficult, is to have the two parents versus one parent.
Yes. Yes, if it's one, then you've got that freedom of movement. If it's two, then you have
right.
And that's always been the case.
Right.
It doesn't make any difference about the situation. There's always variables in the situation.